Hajrat Saleh or Salih. Saleh lived among the people of Thamud, who were known for their wealth, strength, and advanced civilization. However, they had strayed from the path of righteousness and were engrossed in idolatry and disobedience to Allah. Allah appointed Saleh as a prophet to guide the people of Thamud back to the true faith of monotheism, belief in one God, and to warn them against their sinful ways. Saleh called upon his people to worship Allah alone and to abandon their false idols. The miracle of the she-camel, one of the most notable aspects of Saleh's story is the miracle of the she-camel. In response to the people's demand for a sign of Saleh's prophethood, Allah sent a miraculous she-camel as a test. Saleh instructed his people to treat the she-camel with kindness and not to harm her. However, the people of Thamud, in their arrogance and defiance, eventually killed the she-camel, inviting Allah's punishment upon themselves. Warning in destruction. Despite Saleh's persistent efforts to guide his people, they persisted in their disbelief and transgression. As a consequence of their actions, Allah's punishment befell the people of Thamud in the form of a devastating earthquake, which destroyed them and their civilization. Historical context. Modern Saleh or Al-Hijr in the Hijazi mountainous region of Saudi Arabia. The Thamud were a tribal confederation in the northwestern region of the Arabian Peninsula, mentioned in Assyrian sources in the time of Sargon II. The tribe's name continues to appear in documents into the 4th century CE, but by the 6th century they were regarded as a group that had vanished long ago. According to the Quran, the city that Saleh was sent to was called Hijr, which corresponds to the Nabatean city of Hejra. The city rose to prominence around the 1st century AD as an important site in the regional caravan trade. Adjacent to the city were large, decorated rock-cut tombs used by members of various religious groups. At an unknown point in ancient times, the site was abandoned and possibly functionally replaced by Ula. The site has been referred to as Madain Saleh since the era of Muhammad and was named after his predecessor, Saleh. Saleh is not mentioned in any historical texts or in any of the Abrahamic scriptures that precede the Quran, but the account of Thamud's destruction may have been well known in ancient Arabia. The tribe's name is used in ancient Arabian poetry as a metaphor for the transience of all things. According to Muslim tradition, the people of Thamud virtually relied upon Saleh for support. He was chosen by God as a prophet and sent to preach against the selfishness of the wealthy and to condemn the practice of shirk, idolatry or polytheism. Although Saleh preached for a sustained period of time, the people for Thamud refused to hear his warning and instead began to ask Saleh to perform a miracle for them. They said, "O Saleh, we truly had high hopes in you before this. How dare you forbid us to worship what our forefathers had worshipped? We are certainly in alarming doubt about what you are inviting us to." Saleh reminded his people of the castles and palaces they built out of stone and of their technological superiority over neighboring communities. Furthermore, he told them about their ancestors, the Ad tribe, and how they too were destroyed for their sins. Some of the people of Thamud believed Saleh's words, but the tribal leaders refused to listen to him and continued to demand that he demonstrate a miracle to prove his prophethood. In response, God gave the Thamud a blessed she-camel, as both a means of sustenance and a test. The tribe was told to allow the camel to graze peacefully and avoid harming her, but in defiance of Saleh's warning, the people of the tribe hamstrung the camel. Saleh informed them that they had only 3 more days to live before the wrath of God descended upon them. The people of the city were remorseful, but their crime could not be undone, and all the disbelieving people in the city were killed in an earthquake. Al-Hijr was rendered uninhabited and remained in ruins for all time thereafter. Saleh himself and the few believers who followed him survived. The story is expanded upon in Surat Al-Naml, whilst the she-camel mentioned explicitly here, it states that 9 men plotted to kill Saleh and his whole family, a crime for which they were struck down by God 3 days later. Muslim writers have elaborated upon the story of Saleh and the she-camel. Early Islamic tradition often involved the motif of the camel miraculously emerging from stone, often accompanied by a calf, and the production of milk from the camel. A.I. Tabari states that Saleh summoned his people to a mountain, where they witnessed the rock miraculously split open, revealing the camel. The she-camel had a young calf. Saleh informed the Thamud that the older camel was to drink from their water source on one day, and they were to drink from it the next day. On days when they were not allowed to drink water, the camel provided them with milk. But God informed Saleh that a boy who would hamstring the camel would soon be born to the tribe, and that child was evil and grew unnaturally fast. The camel was indeed killed, and its calf cried out 3 times, signaling that they, Thamud, would be destroyed in 3 days. Their faces turned yellow, then red, then black, and they died the 3rd day as predicted. According to some Islamic scholars, the mother of Ismail, Hajrath, was a granddaughter of Saleh. A similar tradition is related in an 8th century commentary on Islam by John of Damascus and is also mentioned in the works of Ibn Kathir. As per Bible, Salah or Salah, Greek, Ida Salah or Shelah, is an ancestor of the Israelites and Ishmaelites according to the table of nations in Genesis 10. He is thus one of the table's 70 names. He is also mentioned in Genesis 11:12-15, 1. Chronicles 1:18-24, and Luke 3:35-36. In the ancestral line from Noah to Abraham, he is the son of Arpachshad in the Masoretic text and Samaritan Pentateuch or Canaan in the Septuagint, and the father of Eber. The name Eber for his son is the original eponym of the Hebrew people, from the root Aber, to cross over. The Gospel of Luke and Book of Jubilees both agree with the Septuagint in making Saleh the son of Canaan, adding the information that his mother was Milcah, the daughter of Madai, while his wife is named as Maak, daughter of Kest, another son of Arpachshad. The death age of Saleh is given as 433, Masoretic 460, Septuagint and 460. Samaritan. Henry M. Morris states that Arpachshad, Saleh, and Eber are listed as the most important sons since they were in the line of the promised seed of the woman. In conclusion, it can be said, Hajrath Saleh or Hajrath Saleh is a significant figure in Islamic tradition, particularly in the context of the story of the people of Thamud. According to Islamic belief, Saleh was a prophet sent by Allah to the people of Thamud, an ancient civilization believed to have existed in the region of present-day Saudi Arabia. Saleh's story is often associated with the miracle of the she-camel. According to the Quranic narrative, Saleh warned the people of Thamud to worship Allah alone and to treat the she-camel sent as a sign from Allah with respect. However, they defied Saleh's warnings and eventually killed the she-camel, incurring Allah's wrath. As a consequence of their disobedience, the people of Thamud faced destruction. The Quran describes how they were punished with a mighty earthquake, which annihilated them and their dwellings. Hajrath Saleh is revered as a prophet in Islam, and his story serves as a moral lesson about the consequences of disbelief and disobedience to Allah's commands.